So Montana is an interesting mission. And I think even it stayed the same with all the changes that have gone on recently with the increase of missionaries, because there's like 5 people in Montana. Actually, the whole state doesn't even have 1 million people is what I heard. I mean, it's true, but recently I still don't think they have 1 million people in the state. And so our mission is all of Montana and a third of Wyoming. And I never served in Wyoming. They only had one sisters area when I was there. But I served mainly in Montana. And I served in 2 cities and then 1 small town. And there's several Indian reservations on the mission. I think sisters only serve in 1. Most of them are just for elders. There's some sketchy parts, I won't lie. But I served in Billings, which is a really decent sized city. It's the biggest city in Montana. I can't even tell you how many people there were there. But there's 2 stakes. They're very proud. And they're wonderful. I think Billings is one of the top places to raise a family. It's just such a wonderful place and such good people inside the church and outside the church. Just wonderful, wonderful people. That's how it is in all of Montana, I think. And then I also served in Kalispell, which is a bigger city. So they have some big cities like Bozeman and Missoula and Billings and Kalispell and Helena. That's the capital, so it's a good-sized town. And Great Falls is pretty big. But they're not like Salt Lake big or anything like that. And so there's lots of small towns. Red Lodge is just outside of Billings, and that area had, I think we covered like 14 small towns, and none of them had a stoplight. They just kind of were a small town, lots of space, small town, lots of space. And there's just something so wonderful about it though, because everyone knows each other, and it's just friendly. There's just a different feeling in those really small towns that I just grew to love. And people were generally really nice to the missionaries, I felt like. I mean, sometimes people have a bad experience with missionaries in the past, and they'll be like, oh, those Mormons. And we're like, hey, let's be your friend. How about we serve you? And then it gets better. I think that as a sister, people were generally nicer, because people are very respectful in Montana. And so it would be very rare, I think, for someone to be like outwardly rude or cruel to 2 women who were clearly religious. So that was a really nice thing. I feel like that was perfect for me, because I would have been like, please don't be mean. Like, please, please, please don't be mean to me. But people, I mean, and you always get some people that are just really unhappy or have had a really bad experience in the past, or just maybe they're just mean. I don't know. But for the most part, people were really nice. So yeah, and we only had, when I was in the mission, we only had about 130 missionaries, and maybe, I think at the most we had 18 to 20 sisters serving, which is so different now because there's so many more missionaries are going out, which is awesome. But it was, I'll be interested to see how the work progresses with more missionaries in that area, because there's just lots of ground to cover.